and about bitachon, and that is that if someone who has bitachon, we said, is saved from many, calamities, and it brings you all your heart's desires. So then, why were there many sages, even at the times of Talmud, that suffered tremendously? I don't understand. They went through so much suffering and pain. So what? They didn't have high level bitachon. How come things didn't work out there the way they always wanted it? So he explains that really the sages did reach the highest level of bitachon, that where a person devotes all his personal desires to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and accepts whatever Hashem gives him. But these sages never relied on HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give them what they wanted, because you know why? Because they never had personal desires. They wanted exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted. It's not like, of course, bitachon has the power to make it that your will be what happens. If you have the highest level of bitachon, your will happen. But these Tanaim, they reached such a level where they were so nullified to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they put their will down before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that they didn't want. They said, I don't want. Do you want blue or green? I don't want. I want whatever Hashem wants. That's how nullified they became towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the level of Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva, we know the Romans are tearing his flesh apart with their iron combs, making his suffering and death longer and longer. And he declared, in that moment, I waited all my life to this moment. For this moment you waited for? Yes, I waited for. I can finally say, when can I fulfill the pasuk that I will love Hashem with all of my soul, which even means giving over my soul to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I fulfilled the words of the Torah, v'chol nafshecha. And he was elongating the word Echad Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So you see, you could ask Rabbi Akiva, just use your bitachon and run away from the situation. Use your merit of bitachon to get it that you don't have to be killed from the Romans. But of course, he had that level of bitachon, but he had no other desire than to fulfill the will of Hashem. And Hashem's will was for him, he should die as a martyr. He should die as a Kiddush Hashem, as a kapara for Am Yisrael. And that's why he allowed himself to be in such a situation, because he wanted Hashem's will. So therefore, a lot of people think that they reach that level of bitachon. Yeah, I have bitachon. Everything's going to work out my way. Not necessarily do you know for sure you're on that level of bitachon of Rabbi Akiva, but for sure, if you see people who are suffering, don't say, oh, well, if they're a tzaddik, so if they have bitachon, so why are they suffering? Maybe that's what they decided. They want to do whatever Hashem wanted them to had to happen to them, and they didn't have their own personal will. So the Geret HaBitachon writes, the Gemara Psachim says that in this world is very different than the world to come, Olam Haba. In this world, a person says something, when something good happens to him, good fortune, he says, Tov v'mitiv. He says, Hashem is good, he does good, to give thanks. And when a person says something bad happens to him, what does he bracha? Does he say, Baruch Dayan Emet, right? Hashem is the truthful judge. But really, when you experience something bad, you really have to also really originally bless HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Gemara says, like you bless the good, you have to bless the bad. Why? Because there's no bad. It's all really good. It's all the will of Hashem. So the will of Hashem is good. But now, in the world to come, we're also going to understand why all the bad is good, and we're also going to say Atov Mitiv on the tragedies. We're going to look back in the history of the world. Well, this bad happened, and that bad happened, and that bad happened. And we're going to bless Atov Mitiv. We're going to say Hashem is good and does good. How? Even in this world, a person has to bless the bad. How could that be? So really, you have to realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu might look like he is not fair. He might look like he is doing an atrocity against you, but you don't have the whole picture. It's like a person who walks in the middle of a play, in the middle of a show, and he says, oh, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Oh, what are they doing? You said, what are you doing? You're coming in half in the middle of the story. Of course you're not going to understand it. Our lives are in the middle of the story. We're in the middle of the story of the destiny of the Jewish people. We're in the middle of the story of the history of the world. We're in the middle of the story of our lives. So how are we to judge and to say, I know better, I know what's supposed to happen, I can judge? We're in the middle of the whole story. We don't know what we're talking about. So therefore, that's why a person has to know, even when the Baruch Hu seemingly does a tragedy to the world or the people, it is part of the master plan, and it is right to bless on it, Atov v'mitiv. So therefore, even Rabbi Kiva and all those Tanaim who suffered all the suffering they went through, it's not that it was really bad and the bitachon would have blocked them and protected them from getting bad. Innately, deep down, they knew this bad was good for them too. If a person would say, give me this shot so I don't have to experience that disease, take out this tooth that's problematic so I don't have a disease from it later, so that is innately good at the end of the day. In the moment, it's a little bit difficult, but at the end of the day, it's considered good. Everyone would agree that it's considered good. So now, In the Gemara says Masechet Sanhedrin that the Romans made a decree they forbid the Jews from giving ordinations to rabbis with smicha. Yehuda ben Bava didn't obey, and he gave smicha to 5 of his students. The Romans found out about this; they started searching for him. Yehuda ben Bava told the students, "Run away! They're coming! The Romans are coming! Run away!" And he himself remained. He explained his actions. He says, "I'm like a stone before the Romans, which does not have any turnings." Meaning to say, he will not turn his neck and run away. Rather, he'll be like a rock that remains in place. Why? Why did he not bitachon? Why did he allow this to happen? Because he knew that this was a high level bitachon, that he accepted whatever Hashem brings about, and he didn't even try to escape. If Hashem made it that these people came, so this is the will of Hashem, and he allowed it to do so. And they knew that it was also good. So therefore, so too in our lives, whatever difficulty we have to look at it, that what? It's not Kadosh Baruch Hu doing a tragedy. Oh, I should have had more bitachon. I should have, turned away from this. I should have blocked myself from this by having bitachon. Many, many times, we realize that this is exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants for you. This is the best for you. We don't understand now, but soon we will understand later.